Those operations in Maine are already causing an uproar, and they're also dividing the state's Democrats. With us now, Congresswoman Chellie Pingree. She is a Democrat who represents Eastern Maine, including Portland, which is in the bullseye for the Trump administration. Congresswoman, I really appreciate you being with us today. I want to just start with your reaction to Saturday's shooting. What did you see?
Oh, it's unconscionable. And thank you to all the observers who were there so we can see these videotapes. See a man, as we've heard, an ICU nurse who had a permit to carry, pushed down onto the ground, not really resisting. They take his gun away and then they shoot him 9 times. It's just unconscionable. Also, that this administration thinks there is nothing to investigate here. In every law enforcement shooting in my state or any other state, there is always an investigation. For this administration to try to remove the evidence or to say from the start, oh, he's a domestic terrorist, or to try to characterize what has gone on without having the actual facts is just unthinkable. And my heart goes out to his family, deepest sympathy to all the people who worked with him, to the VA residents who he's been helping to care for, and for the city of Minneapolis. I mean, people are under so much stress, and now it's in my state, and I know how distressing this is to people and how lawless these operations are.
Okay, so the fear now for some Mainers is that they will see the same thing play out in your state. Prior to the shooting, we saw different approaches from officials. Governor Janet Mills called ICE's actions, quote, reckless, and that they would not be tolerated in Maine. But your fellow Pine Tree State Congressman Jared Golden went on social media to tell protesters, including his fellow public officials, to, quote, not obstruct or impede law enforcement activities and not amplify tensions. Those seem like different approaches. Am I right, and which one sounds more correct to you?
Well, welcome to the Big Tent of the Democratic Party, but I do think Jared was in the minority on this. He voted to fully fund Homeland Security, and the Democrats, for the most part, have said, hey, it's our only opportunity to slow this down, to get some real conditions in an appropriations bill that talk about how ICE operations are conducted, how they're trained, who's allowed to be in our state, and this ridiculous amount of money that they got through the big ugly bill, and now will get even more through the appropriations process, that is going to things like excessive numbers of ICE agents in a state like ours. I mean, I don't know how to put it any other way. We are the whitest state in the nation. We're 47th in the number of undocumented immigrants. And my office has 3 people who work full-time, have been all of last year on this Trump administration's picking up people with documented asylum cases, with work permits, with making it increasingly difficult for people to go to work, to go to school. And having these excessive ICE agents in our state now means it's all day long. And while I don't think there's any opposition to picking up hardened criminals or people who we don't really want in our state or who have truly violated immigration law. The vast majority are people who are legally here in the process, waiting for their court date as asylum seekers, and they have work permits. I'm hearing from so many employers who can't run their production lines, who can't operate their restaurants. These are a huge percentage of the people who work in our hospitals and our long-term care facilities. It's very disruptive to our economy, and it's also so frightening for our residents.
Okay, on the shutdown point, it sounds like Democrats in the Senate now, enough of them agree with your point of view, and they're not going to go along with the deal. Susan Collins, the Republican senator from Maine, told our own Joe Khalil that she's trying to work out a deal that might split off Homeland Security funding but still allow the rest of the package to pass. That would limit the scope of the shutdown. From your House Appropriations side, does that sound like something that's plausible?
Well, that's basically what happened in the House. As you know, we had 3 bills voted on in a package last week and then a separated vote on Homeland Security. So that's where most of the Democrats voted against the Homeland Security bill, taking that stand. And look, I mean, I think we should get a lot of credit as appropriators, as Democrats. We did not want to see another government shutdown. We have been working, our staffs worked all through the holidays to get every one of those appropriations bills done. And we came to a lot of compromise. We ate some things we didn't like, and to the Republicans' credit in the Appropriations Committee, many of them went along with things that they didn't like and went against the administration. But this Homeland Security bill is a bill too far. So how the Senate will handle that, perhaps like the House, may really color how this thing goes. And you're right, we will have passed all 11 of the other subcommittee bills, but not Homeland Security if they go against this in the Senate.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.